Yeah, hi ma'am. So today we're gonna have this session on SAS arrays. Okay, so how to deal with SAS arrays and what exactly where to use what exactly they are required. I mean, so where to use SAS arrays. What exactly they are and what are the efficient ways where we can use SAS arrays. Okay, so normally SAS arrays provides a simple efficient way to process a list of variables in a SAS data. Okay. So whenever you whenever you want to perform an operation in, on a single variable, we can use many other conditions. We have all the procedures, where statements, if statements and all. But whenever you want to do something, some kind of an operation on multiple variables at once. Okay, on multiple variables at once. So SAS arrays is the best option for that. Instead of writing the code again and again with the help of other other conditional statements or procedures. So SAS arrays helps you to write the code write the code in a short way, and it applies to the all the variables. I mean, whichever variables we pass into the array. Right, ma'am? So for example, uh, if you want to do an addition, okay, if you want to, so for example, in a data set, there are around 100 variables, okay, and in these 100 variables, there are around 70 or 70 which are numeric, right? So normally, if I want to add +5 to a certain variable, to a certain numeric variable, I'll just directly mention some function or some statement or okay, or if condition based on the condition if I have something. But what if I need to add +5 to all the numeric variables at once? Okay. So as I said previously, I have around 70 numeric variables. So will you be writing 70, 70 if conditions? Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. So for these kind of situations, we use arrays. Okay. Where you can pass the list of variables at once. Okay. For example, if you want to pass numeric, you can pass numeric. For example, if you want to pass character, you can pass character. Or else, if you want to pass specific variables, you can pass those specific variables. Okay. S- So in that way, we can have with the help of arrays, we can do the addition of +5 to the all the numeric variables. Okay. So let's go to the syntax. So syntax simple. Um, First you start. So whenever you start an array, first you start with array. Okay, array. Then the array name. Array name can be anything. Okay, it can be it can be of your choice. Okay. Then again, number of elements. Number of elements is something that how many elements. I mean, in numeric form, how many elements, or how many variables you want to pass. You want to pass in a particular operation. Okay, should be enclosed in parentheses of flower brackets or square brackets. Okay, you can use any of the three while passing the number of elements or number of variables. And after that, you'll have list of variables. Okay. So, for example, you have passed three variables. So you have written three here. So you have to mention all the three variables. Okay. Now let's see. First one is array. Okay. Array. Array name can be anything. APC, your name, my name, or whichever name. For example, if you want to if you want to give um so for example, if it is a addition of 5 to each and every numeric variable, you mention addition 5. Okay, add 5 in that way. So here here I want to involve 5 variables. So I mentioned 5 here in the brackets. After that, all the 5 variables I mentioned here. Okay, and for example, and no, you're mentioning the count. No, yeah. And for example, sometimes you don't know what is the count you will be having. I mean, no, you don't know what are the count of variables you will be adding. Okay, you can just simply mention star here, and add how many variable names you want. Okay, and then again, for example, if you have if you have some variable name with similar prefix. Okay, with with same prefix and with incrementing suffix. Okay, and with incremental suffix with same prefix, you can just simply mention x1 to x10. For example, you have x1 to x10 variable names, x1, x2, x3, and so on, and x10. Now you can directly mention hyphen x1 hyphen x10. Okay, so if you mention star here, so it calculates that there the user have mentioned 10 variables. Okay, and last one, if you mention dollar here, which it means that the user is mentioning character variables, right, ma'am?
Yeah,
Whenever
Raju.
whenever you mention character variables, you have to mention dollar here. Okay, now let's start with examples. Okay, so I have this data x1, x2, x3, x4, and x5. The first one is I want to replace values with missing whenever I see a data, whenever I see a numeric data which have more than 3. Okay, replace values greater than 3 in numeric variable with missing data. Okay, let's see. So it's simple. So these two which data test. So we have this test. We have this. You know, I'm creating a new data set called test. We have already temp data set. This one. First one is array. The syntax is simple. Array and var. So can be as I said, array name can be anything. So I mentioned n variables. Okay, simple n vars in flower brackets 3. Okay, let's see. Array n vars flower brackets 3. Okay, so what are those 3 variables? So we have 3 variables, right? Numeric variables x1, x2, x3. So instead of writing x1, x2, x3, I just directly mention,
Hyphen.
yeah,
So we can
x1.
use star over here too, right? And
Yes,
var in the bracket
yes,
star.
ma'am. Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And now what I want to do is I want to pass. Okay. So I have 3 variables in it. So what I want to do is I want to write a condition such that if I see a number greater than 3, I need to replace it with missing value. So I use do loops because I need to use all the 3 variables. I need to iterate on those 3 variables, right? Do I equal to 1, 2, 3? Okay, because I have 3 variables, so I mentioned I do I equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now if simply so normally what you will do, So normal in a normal condition, if you so for example, if you remove do loops, okay, in normal condition, just think of a normal data or normal code. If you want to replace uh, something, if you want to replace three with three, I mean number more than three with missing value, what you will do? I just directly mention if variable name, which is x1 greater than 3, then x1 equal to null, right? So this is what you mention. Okay. So in this way, I can mention three steps, right? Right, ma'am? So in order
Yeah.
to avoid those three steps, you can directly mention if what we have number of variables, because I am what we so I'm using this array name instead of all these three variables. So all these three variables. So this array name represents all these three variables. Okay.
Yeah.
So n number of variables. Okay. So I want so a number of variables. So I want to do for each and every variable, right? So I'll pass I here. So if I pass one, okay, if I pass one here, the first one will get no. Let's see. Okay, if I pass one here, the first one will get replaced with dot. Instead of that, I'll use I. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So then, so once we got do I equal 1, 2, 3. If then and run. Yeah, we'll see what's happening. Okay. So I got missing value. Okay. So if you see here, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I got missing value wherever you have data more than 3. Got it, ma'am? So this simple array
Yes.
statement. Simple array statement. And next one. The same way you can do in this way. So instead of mentioning, so you have to uh, do the operation on numeric variables, right? Now, and for example, I mean, you have many numeric variables. You don't know the count of it. So simply take it as array, number of variables. As I mentioned, star, right? Mention star here, star. So you can mention underscore numeric underscore. Okay, array var star underscore. Oh, just a moment, ma'am.
Yeah.
Got logged out. Yeah. So array number of variables. I'll mention star underscore numeric underscore. Okay. Instead of mentioning all the variables, simple do I equal to mm, so 1. So you're always no, you'll always have 1, but you don't know instead of 3, you don't know how many numeric variables are there in the particular data. Okay. So dim of inverse and VARS inverse. Okay. So here dim of inverse means, so dim of inverse is something that it will calculate the maximum number of elements. I mean, maximum number of variables present in the number of, inverse, inverse. So which means inverse have all the numeric variables, right? So dim. So when you mention dim of inverse, it will get the number of numeric variables. I mean, the number of numeric variables present in the particular data set, and the rest is same. If inverse inverse greater than I, so inverse of I greater than 3, then inverse of I equal to dot and dot. See. Yeah. Oh,
You sign out, right?
yeah, yeah. Okay, we got the data in this way. Yeah. Clear, ma'am? Any questions on this?
Yeah, so dim is useful for if we don't know any how many variables in the.
Right, ma'am. Yeah.
Oh, so what is that? Dim is a function, like statement.
So
What
for
is that?
you can consider that to be a function. Function used while passing the array statements.
Okay, so we can use this dim only in the array, or we can use anywhere, like in the
Only
data
in
set.
array, mostly array, ma'am. Yeah, mostly array.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Next one. Okay. Next one is extract first letter of all character variables. Okay, I want to extract first letter of all the character variables. So normally in this situation, what we'll do, we'll just directly use substr, right? So substr we can use only for extracting the first letter of only one variable, right, ma'am? So instead of that, I want to extract the first letter from all the character variables. So in that situation, we'll have arrays into picture. Let's see. Same thing. So instead of okay, temp, instead of we can use number of variables. So we can use n words, which is numeric variables. So here we use C vers. With these character variables, I use star, and again I'll use character. Uh, do I equal to 1 to dim of CVRS. Here CVF I equal to, let's see, I equal to sub str of CVRS of I, comma 1 comma 1. Then and run. If you want to drop I, you can drop either I here or in the above here. The drop equal to I instead of here. It's up to you. Yeah. So previously we used to have A B something, right? So we used to have, yeah, A B C A C in this way. We got the first letter of the variable of the character variables. Okay. PMM on this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Next one. Okay. Till now, we have been, till now we have been, you know, assigning data, or doing operations on the same variable. Okay. So, so for example, you have this data. Okay, you have the data. I want to extract the first. So I want to extract. So I want to see how many variables have more than three, and simultaneously I want to replace them. I want to replace all the values, so all the numeric values with more than three to missing in a new variable. Okay, in a new variable instead of on the same x1, x2, x3 variable, I want to replace on the new variable. Okay? Then you have to create another array. Let's see that. So you have to create another new variable. We have mentioned so array. Okay. Here it is extract first letter and assign to a new variable. Okay. So instead of that, so what we'll do? Uh, so we'll do with the first numeric. Okay. So I just want to assign. So I just want to mention star underscore array. Instead of that, I am where star. So you have to create three variables here because in numeric we have three variables, right?
Yeah.
So let's create, instead of that one, let's create uh, x12, x13, x14.
Can we write here underscore numeric underscore for
No,
the
ma'am.
new variable?
No, not here.
Okay.
Yeah, because it already have, numeric in the sense it will consider only the existing variables.
But if we don't know how many variables in that, then
This is the only case. Yeah,
okay. So we cannot do that
no.
if we want to
So
create the new
new
variable.
variables, yes, yes, yes.
We have to mention the new variable. That's what you were saying, right?
Exactly, ma'am. So always, so we don't know in real time we normally don't need to create a new variable, but if you want to create a new variable, then you can do this, or yeah. So let's try another way. Let's see if this works. Yeah. So no, mostly we don't create a new variable. whenever we use arrays, because we do on on because we use arrays on multiple variables, right? So we mostly avoid creating new variables. But just to know, I'm just using this one. Okay. So do I equal to 1 2 uh, of, uh, if yeah, what's there, ma'am? Greater than 3. 2. Let's see. This one work or not. So previously, what you used to get? Figure out from I 1 2 x 1 3 x 1 4. So variables. That's yeah. Okay. So let's drop this I. But I is not necessary. I. So here you see here, uh, we have x1, x2, x3, and I have x1 2, x1, x1 3, x1 2, x1 3, x1 4. So instead of replacing the same values with null values, so I have replaced in a new variables. Okay. Clear now? Hello.
Yeah, Raju.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Same way, the same way you can do it for character variables. Okay. Data test set them. Okay. So I'm using so as I said previously, uh, okay, whenever you create an array, uh, whenever you create a array for numeric, sorry, for character variable, you just mention dollar, right? Dollar. So you mention x6 to x7, right? And now you mention what I want to I equal to 1 more Revers. Revers. What is the condition? C. Revers equal to revers of
I
I equal to
substitute.
substitute of revers I comma 1 comma 1 and I 1. Okay. So you got SS and XL with new variables. Compare these two, you get all the first variable, all the first letters. Okay. Any question ma'am on this?
Yeah, no, Raju. Yeah.
Next one. It's about multiplying a value to some numeric values. So let's see. Here I use a special function. Here I used a functionality called underscore temporary underscore. Let's see what it is. So I just want to multiply each and every numeric variable with some other with a defined with a provided number, okay, which are 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. Okay. So first thing is I mentioned inverse numeric. I just want to multiply um the existing numeric variable with these three values and no and provide the output in a new variable. So I mentioned px1, so mention these three variable names. And now, okay. So yeah. So I mentioned here third array name, which is PCDINC, which is and I mentioned it with temporary. So temporary is something that it doesn't print the data. No, it doesn't print this array value in the output data set. Okay. And now dim I equal to 1 to dim of n vars. So here p vars, which is the new variable name, equal to n vars into PCTINC. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so I have x1, x2, x3. I just want to multiply um what are all these? Yeah, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Okay. So let's see. So first one is 1 into 1.1, and second one is 2 into 1.2. Okay. And third one is 3 into what it is 3 into 1.3. Right? Right, ma'am? So the first column will be multiplied with 1.1, second 1.2, third 1.3. So I got the data in this way. So if you
Okay,
have
just one question.
yeah,
So,
ma'am.
like in the temporary variable, so we are giving 1.1, 1.2, 1.3.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
how it is multiplying? Like I thought
We
like
we use here, right? Multiply
1.1 for one
operation.
variable. Okay.
Yeah. So we use here operation, right? Multiplication operation.
Okay. So after three rows, it is again multiplying to the fourth value. 1.1.
Come again, ma'am.
I I felt like 1.1 is it is multiplying for one variable.
Yeah, exactly.
It is
That's what
it
happening,
is
right? 1.1 is being, 1.1 is getting, multiplied with the first variable, which is x1.
yeah, but it
x1.
is not multiplying to all the variable, right?
I mean, we have mentioned only the first thing, right? We have mentioned. So what we mentioned is 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. We mentioned, 1.1 to be multiplied with first one, px1, right? Because px1 is the first one, and
Yeah,
here it's first one. So the first iteration I equal to 1. So I equal to 1. So 1 belongs to px1. Sorry. The first one is x1, 1.1, right?
yeah,
So here, inverse of, to decode this one, so what I get? So first, um, so and p-vares of I is, let's take the first iteration. P-vares of 1 gives you px1 equal to inverse of I. Inverse of 1 gives you x1, x1 into PCT INC of 1. Instead of I'm taking the first iteration is 1, which is 1.1. Okay. So this is what happens. And again, px2 equal to x2 into 1.2. And again, px3 equal to x3 into 1.3. Okay.
yeah.
This is what happens, ma'am. Instead of iterations, so instead of iteration, I just only decoded the iterations here. So we'll have three iterations. In each iteration, the first value is passed. So here the first value is 1.1. Okay. So why I use temporary is something that, so it's only used to create, no, it's only used to multiply this particular 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 only in this particular data step. Okay. So this PCT INC array name won't be printed in the output data set. You see here, we don't have this PCT INC values 1.1, 1.2, and so on in this output data set. So that's the reason I'm just print and I'm just using underscore temporary underscore. Clear, ma'am? Any questions in this one?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Shagufta ma'am, is it clear until now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Next one. So next one is, I just want to calculate percentage growth. Okay. Let's see. Simple. So one more. Yeah. So here I used inverse numeric difference for two numerics temporary, percent for two numerics temporary. I mean, no problem. No, it's okay. No, I haven't used temporary here. Yeah. Let's see. Do I equal to 1 to 2? Because I mentioned only two variables. So I have three variables in the no, I have three instead no, I have three numeric variables, but still I mentioned only two numeric variables. Yeah. So here difference of I equal to um inverse I plus 1 minus inverse of I. And again, percentage of I equal to difference of I slash inverse of I. Let's see this now. Do I equal 1 to 2 difference of I percentage of I percent 2. Yeah. I want to explain this one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I can just read it here. The following code reads data from temporary table and again calculates difference and percentage difference between consecutive numeric variables in temp and stores the so between consecutive numeric variables and stores the results in temporary different percentage arrays. Uh, yeah, so as I haven't mentioned this temporary, I'll just remove this one. We'll see. I have diff 1, diff 2, person 1, person 2. Okay. So here, difference of I, it is difference of 1. Difference of, because I haven't mentioned any variable names, right, ma'am, here. So it's actually taking different diff 1, diff 2. Okay. Diff 1 equal to, let's decode this one, the first one. Okay. Diff 1 equal to inverse of I plus 1. So what is,
X2 minus X1.
sorry, ma'am?
X2 minus X1.
Yeah. So let's see. So I plus 1 is, yeah, 2. So what is 2? X2, yeah, X2 minus X1, right? And again, uh,
Divided by X1.
sorry?
For the percentage divided by X1.
Oh, no, ma'am. No, let's go to difference itself. Difference 2 equal to, so again, 2 plus 1, X3 minus X2. Okay. And again, percent I. Okay, sorry. Percent 1 equal to, okay, okay. Different diff of 1, 1 divided by, what is inverse of I is X1. Again, okay, percent of I, which is 2, gives you 2, if 2, inverse of 2. So this what operation happening? So x2 minus x1 is x2 minus x1 is, sorry, 1 1 1 1 and so on, right, ma'am? So this is what happening in terms of percent and difference. So as I mentioned, temporary for difference, so it haven't printed the data. Go ahead, ma'am. Mentioned for difference, so it haven't printed the data for difference. Claim, ma'am. Any questions on this one?
Have
Hello.
you mentioned the
Yes, ma'am.
output data one more time?
Yeah, ma'am.
So for the second row, no. Okay, got it.
Okay, so one second, ma'am. I'll just even remove this one and then show you again. First thing, which is diff 1 by x1.
Yes.
Let's see. X1 is 1, 1 is 1, okay. So again, it's diff 1. 1 by 2 is 2.5, and 1 by 3 is 0.3. 1 by 4 is 0.25, 1 by 5 is 0.02, 1 by 6 is 0.11, and so on. 6, 7. Clear on this, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Next one is using the off operator in SAS array. Okay. So how to use off operator? Okay. So instead of normally, so for example, if you want to do the sum of three variables, okay. So normally what you will do, so we'll just directly mention sum of x1, sum of all the variables, right? X, I mean, with the variable 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma, and so on. So instead of that, I'm using off variable in the array in the array statement. Okay, let's see. So array no, so the array name star number of variables, all the list of variables here, and while doing the sum, new sum name, I mean, new variable name equal to sum brackets open of this array name star, which means sum of how many variables, and its list. It'll directly, in the backend, it'll print and calculate the sum of all the variables. Okay. So here's a simple thing. For example, if you want to create if I want to create a flag, uh, for all the sum greater than 10 should be 1, L should be equal to 0. Okay. So I have directly mentioned if sum of n varies of star greater than 10, then flag equal to 1, else flag equal to 0. Run. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's fine. Yeah. So here it is 6. Here it is 9. And here, from here, we have, it's been exceeding 10. Right, ma'am? I'm clear on this?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Next one is do over loop. Okay. So till now, we have been using do loops. I mean, do loop such that do I equal to 1 to some do I equal to 1 to and so on, which means, so in do loop we have in this way, do uh, do loop name or is index name and start of index to end of index. Okay. So this is what we have been using, which decodes to do some index name. I can be a or anything. I equal to 1 to so on. That's 10. So this is what we are mentioning. Okay. Instead of that, let's see this. let's see how this do over loop works. Okay, so the do over loop, whenever it is mostly used. Okay, it can be used with array when indexing of the array. Okay, so whenever indexing of the array is not required, so we can we can directly use do loops. Okay, indexing, which means that so we are mentioning, right, one to so on, one to dim off star in that way. So instead of that, we can directly use do over loops. So let's see an example. The same example for the missing, no, just to have missing values whenever you see data greater than 3. Okay, so I just might no, I directly mention array name underscore numeric underscore. So I missed here this particular star. Okay, this is not required because do over. So do over nvars. So do over nvars is something that it it does whatever operations we have on all the variables mentioned. So we have mentioned underscore numeric underscore. So I just mentioned do over nvars. So do over all the numeric variables. How? If nvar is greater than 3, then nvar is equal to dot. So you got the data in this way. So, uh, 5 or 6, let's see what happens if we mention 3 here, or star here. See here, explicitly subscripted array are not allowed to be operated upon by do over statement. Okay, explicitly subscripted arrays are not allowed to be operated upon by the do over statement. Okay, because do over already have a functionality to work on the entire all the variables which you have mentioned in the array statement. So so it doesn't require the count. So it doesn't require the count. So that's the reason we are just removing the star. Okay. If you mention the star again, you have to mention do loops. I mean normal do indexing. So if you don't mention the star, you can directly use do over number of variables. So do over numeric variables, which is nvars. If nvar greater than 3, then nvar equal to 1.
So
Here,
Rajiv,
yes,
if you
ma'am.
wanna use a specific variable in the array name in the array, so still we have to use do over and envar. That's it, right?
Yeah, specific it's not required. Specific, if you use specific variable, then do loops itself is not required, right? No, we have only one variable.
No, if we are like multiple variable, numeric variable, and we are using only three or four variable from it.
Then
So
it's, for example, if you're mentioning multiple variables. So for example, I have three numeric variables, right? I'm using x1, x2. Okay, I'm using one x1, x2. Let's see now whether it works or not. Okay, so it worked on only x1, x2. X3 is still the same. Go ahead, ma'am.
yeah, right.
So instead of that, so do loops, sorry, arrays is something that whenever you want to do some certain operations on many variables, where where it, where it'll take a if instead of where it will take to write multiple conditions, multiple statements in a data step. Instead of that, you can directly use arrays. Only in that case, we use arrays, and we normally use all the numerics or characters. In specific, if you have any kind of a different variable, you can use this one. Do over loop of here, and there are many functionalities of this arrays as yeah. You can just go through that if you have any kind of if you find some time, go through that functionalities. But these are the main. So these are the basic functionalities which you can use. In this basic functionality, you can just build any any bigger functionalities. Okay. So the idea here is the main theme here is this one, this particular syntax: array, array name, number of variables, which is either number or star. And again, if it is numeric, mention the numeric variables or underscore numeric underscore. If it is character, mention underscore character underscore, or you want to or you want to explicitly mention character values. So some sorry character variables. Mention dollar space character variables. Okay, and do your operations. So how you do? So normally whenever you do some operations, what you do you mention the variable name, right? So no, instead of the variable name, mention the array name with the respective no, the indexing. Got it, ma'am? Any questions on this one?
Yeah, no, actually, I got disconnected on this part, actually, percentage part.
Okay, so I have decoded it, right, ma'am?
No, actually, I got disconnected that time.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, so I just did not understand this part. If you,
Yeah, I mean it's simple, ma'am. So for example, okay, so what is so I'm passing do I equal 1 to 2. Okay, right, ma'am?
so yeah, we have three variable, and you mentioned over here two means we are taking only two variable, right?
No, no, it's not about taking two variables, ma'am. It's about no only having two data. No, you can even mention three. For example, if I mention three, it'll go with three iterations. Okay. For example, let's go. Let's go through the iteration one by one. Okay. First one is I equal to one. So which is different. So I haven't mentioned any. After this two, I haven't mentioned any data, right? Any variable name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, ma'am. That's the reason it is straight away considering difference. So diff I as a new variable name. Correct? So what
Okay.
is diff I? What is I? I equal to 1. Diff 1 is the new variable name. Okay? And here, inverse of I plus 1. What is I plus 1? What is I? 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So what is inverse of 2? X2, right?
Yeah.
Right, ma'am?
Yeah, Raju.
Yeah. So X2 minus inverse of I. So which is n variable. So in inverse, which is numeric variables, we have three numeric variables, right? X1, X2, X3, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you pass I, inverse of I, which is whenever you pass one I equal 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, when whenever you pass I equal to I equal to 1, 2, 3. First one is inverse of I plus 1, which is 2. Inverse of 2 is x2, right, ma'am? Minus inverse of I, which is I equal to 1. So what is inverse of I? So inverse of 1,
Excellent.
x1, right, ma'am? Because x1 belongs to, because x1 is the first variable, right, ma'am?
Yeah.
Then again, then again, the same iteration for the next step, percentage of I, percent, percent of I. So I'm only, no, I'm only considering the first iteration, which is 1. Percent 1 equal to, what is difference I? So difference of I, which is I equal to 1. Diff, sorry, diff 1, okay, slash by inverse of I. So what is inverse of 1? Ma'am, what is inverse of 1?
X1.
Right,
X1.
x1. Okay. So this is what the operations being performed. So what is x2 minus x1? According to our, I just print this data set. So what is x2 minus x1?
1.
Always, ma'am, I'm always be cautious that some statements, some function which are used in data step, they do the they do the functionality or the subtraction or summation row wise. Okay, row wise. Okay, in procedures. So in procedure, if you remember, we use sum in proc means. Remember, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it will do vertically. Okay. Whenever you use data step sum function, it will do horizontally, and whenever you do procedure for sum, it will do vertically. Right, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are here. So what is x2 minus x1, ma'am? Here, x2 minus x1, x2 minus x1. What is it? 1, right?
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1, again 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. 5 minus 4 is 1. 6 minus 5 is 1. 7 minus 6 is 1. Okay. So we got 1 here. So we got DIFF 1 equal to 1. And now, so so I want to calculate percent 1 equal to DIFF 1 by x1. So what is DIFF 1? 1, right? 1 by, so what is x1?
One.
First one is 1. So 1 by 1 is equal to 1. And again, what is next one? So what is DIF 1 is still 1 because we only have one value, right? You only have one value entire across all the experiments x2. Experiments x2 have one value, right? So what is 1 by 2 is 0.5. 1 by 3 is 0.3. 1 by 4 is 0.25. 1 by 5 is 0.2. 1 by 6 is 1.66 and so on until 7. Right, ma'am?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. The same thing for iteration 2, iteration 3. Remove all these one. Mention this one. You see here, array subscription out of range at line 75, column 11. Because we have used 1, 2, 3. Okay. I see because inverse of I plus 1, 4. We don't have inverse of 4, right? What is I, so if that's the last iteration, what is I? 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. So do we have inverse of 4, ma'am? Ideally, we have
No.
only 3 numeric
No.
variables, right?
Yeah.
Which is x1, x2, x3. So x1 belongs to inverse of 1, x2 belongs to inverse of 2, x3 belongs to inverse of 3. But here I used I equal to 1, 2, 3. So I use 3 here. Okay. So what is I? So when it comes to the last iteration, I is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, inverse of 4. No, we don't have inverse of 4, right? That's the reason we got an error because out of range. So that's the reason I chose only two two iterations to be used because I used I plus 1 here. For example, if you haven't used I plus 1, if I haven't used I plus 1, then you can use 3, run this, you get the result. Second. So I want to,
We'll get
yeah,
a zero, right?
no, 0, yeah, 0 by something which is not, uh, yeah, which is not, it's not there, no, which is not an, expected value. Let's see here. I equal to x equal to 3, say, b difference is, yeah. So in this percent 1 equal to 0, percent 2 is equal to 0, I equal to 3. Let's work out now. Let's see if this works or not. We must decode this one.
There's only D1 and D2.
Sorry,
Like
ma'am?
we don't have D3, right? But if you're doing like 1 to 2,
Yeah,
you do
exactly.
RS.
Exactly. Because we have to mention 3 here again. right? You better mention 3 here because we have been using D only 2. So once you do 3, we get percent 3, which is not, so no, which is out of range. Even if a D code, so percent 3 equal to what is diff of I is diff of 3, which is not available, slash nvar of I, which is x3. What is diff of 3, which is not available? So that's the reason it gave us array subscription out of range. We mentioned 3 here. So we'll be getting 3 values. Some undesired results. Go ahead, ma'am. What diff 1, diff 2, diff 3, and for person 1, person 2, person 3. Okay. Go ahead, ma'am. Any questions on this?
No.
No, right.
Yeah. So yeah. So this is the end of arrays, ma'am. If you want to find out some kind of other examples on arrays, we rightly mention C. Uh, Go to extension. If you see here, here he is doing some kind of operations. Plot 1 into 1 minus 1, 1 minus point dot on each and every variable. Instead of that, he tells us to use arrays. Array, array name, number of variables, list of variables. Again, do I instead of I, he used j equal 1 to 4. So there's the formula here. So products of j equal to, array name of j equal to array name of j into 1, here 1 minus 0.1. So this is what the operation he want to do on all the numeric variables. Instead of these 3 steps, he mentioned only one step. Right, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So in this way, you can go in detail. Uh, we have all these products. Anywhere, all the basics I have taught you, ma'am. No, all the what you call all the conditions you look all the no, different conditions used in arrays. Okay, how can you use arrays in different conditions? So I have given you all the examples on that. So if you see anywhere, the syntax and all remains the same. The only change will be in the formula part. No, the condition part which you will be using. Okay. Yeah. If you see here, we have used these many steps. So instead of that, you can directly mention array. Yeah. We use temporary also. Okay. We use of, we use some of, I mean the of statement, I mean of option, and we use do over. Okay, you can even use do over also. Yeah. Any question on this one or any previous topics?